Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are here in front of Sunjika, and we just received the message that the Ark is ready for deployment, and we can begin our journey to Ultima Thule, the nest of Meteon. Unto the heavens. I suppose this is where we part ways, for now at least. Would that I had a sage words of wisdom to share ere you depart. Mayhap the teachings of Gull of Baldessian will suffice? Surrender not to anger or hatred. Look beyond them, and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think, but for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life, things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture into the Sea of Stars. Wow, so viele Freunde. So many friends. Alpha appears to be trying to cheer you on. Bleep bloop. The miniature model of Omega appears to be staring intently at the Ark. Man is said to fear what he does not know, yet you would venture into the greatest of unknowns. I say to you, daughter of man, that you need not fear. So long as man shares a bond with dragonkind, so too does he share our kinship with the heavens and our ancient home amidst the stars infinite. I pray you go forth and prove this bond of ours, tempered and tested, shall endure unbroken for 1,000 years. First the great Exodus and now this. It seems there's no end to our work. In truth, more than a few gleaners were distressed to learn that their earlier efforts were for nothing. It was no easy task convincing them that the new plan was for the best, I can tell you that. I can't tell you every man believes this is the wisest course, but I can say that all will be forgiven if you deliver us from the coming doom. And if you don't, well, at least you won't get the earful, I certainly will. It's troubling enough that this brute Sigurd left without warning, leaving me to carry all those cumbersome containers. But that he failed to be present to send you off is absurd. What could possibly be more deserving of his attention at a time like this? It's no easy thing to say, leave the star to us, but we must, and we will. As proud members of a science, we have a duty to uphold. And we needn't do so alone. Those dark days when we were driven from the rising stones and hunted as traitors are a thing of the past. We have allies in abundance now. Which is to say, we needn't worry about us. Go forth in the knowledge that the science will labor without rest in your absence. Though our fellow science couldn't be here, they wanted me to tell you that no matter what calamity may befall us, they will never give up, and neither should you. No matter how far you may go, we will be with you in spirit. No matter how dark it may seem, your light will shine and endure. Mr. Squire tells me your investigation into my theories on Akasha and its relation to the final days has made clear the source of our woes. I'm elated to know my work was of some benefit, but I could not have shared it had you not rescued me from the tower that day. I yet owe you a great debt, one I may never fully repay, but I shall try nonetheless. Not only through my research, but through my desire to see you succeed, which I believe may influence the Akasha in our favor, small though the effect may be. Yes, so long as we have hope, there's a chance we may influence the outcome of this calamity. We were quite fortunate. The Loporid's hyperhopper was based on principles similar to those of ethereology. Integrating it with the Ark's existing systems might well have been impossible otherwise. We may have Sharlayan's wealth of knowledge at our disposal, but theirs is technology far beyond anything we have ever studied. You are familiar with teleportation magic, yes? The momentary conversion of a body into aether that it may travel via the lifestream from one physical point to another. The hyperhopper enables transport through a similar method, but not one involving the lifestream. Rather, it utilizes high condensed aether to create an ethereal current of its own. This current is exponentially faster and more powerful than the naturally occurring ones to which we are accustomed, so much so in fact that ethereal conversion of a physical form is not a prerequisite for traversal. If you are concerned about side effects such as ethereal sickness, you needn't be. You should emerge at your destination hale and whole. In theory. At the very least, I can assure you it is safer than the experimental airflow used to reach Resatan. That is good to know. Monrelia has been on my mind more often of late. How different her life might have been if it not for our research into teleportation magics. Perhaps she would never have gained an interest in ethereological studies. But to abandon our work out of misplaced guilt for who she could have been would be a disservice to the memory of who she was. Nay, it was because of her that we found the resolve to carry on. And now we stand at the edge of a new frontier, with a ship ready to bear you unto the distant stars and beyond. This arc is as much her accomplishment as it is ours. I regret nothing. So this was ship that would bear us unto Ultima Thule. For so many to see us off like this seems wholly unnecessary. Still, I'll not begrudge them for wishing us well. That even Wilson and Brovida would be in attendance is most unexpected, but I'm nonetheless heartened by their presence. This is the pinnacle of epherochemistry, a synthesis of modern innovation and the ancient wisdom of Alak. The Ark's engine appears to be capable of processing condensed air in quantities I never thought possible. I wasn't expecting quite so many people to be seeing us off. Let us hear what Father has to say. They said work in the Ark is finished, but you certainly wouldn't know by looking at it. I sent word to the Alliance leaders the very moment the ship takes off. Obviously they couldn't be here, but I'm sure we'll be cheering for you every step of the way. Quite the turnout, wouldn't you say? Then again, who wouldn't want to be present for a once-in-a-lifetime event? The Ark is missing one last but very crucial component before we are ready to take off. It should be arriving shortly.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder. But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Don't mention it. Ever since that episode with Omega, I've been toying with the idea of star-faring vessels. And as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. We've learned a lot, let me tell you. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible. From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisois not fought to protect this world. And in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The Starship Ragnarok.
Sorry for the wait. I got everyone you asked for, and not a one less. What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves!
Thou wouldst employ summoning, or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
Care to explain for our benefit?
As you may have witnessed at Bestway's Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrits' magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed! While Heidelin gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, except no substitutes, don't incorporate any of that rubbish. So there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug. But I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship. In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way.
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
And what are those?
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
Ragnarok is a collaborative effort in every sense. A combination of knowledge from the world's greatest minds, both past and present. Without question, the greatest ship ever built. The world cannot end now, not when we've but scratched the surface of Loporid's technological know-how. So run along now and do what it is you wanted heroes to best. The world shall tremble for my genius soon enough, assuming you are able to prevent its destruction, it is. You haven't forgotten anything, have you? No repairs or commissions? A delivery from retainer, perhaps? No? Well, if there's nothing else, have a safe journey. I have to remember to thank the Tyrell for her timely provisions of food and drink. Poor wretch would have long since given up from exhaustion otherwise. But now the rest is up to you. Come back safe, alright? Silence seemed to say something new. So the stage set. I can but hope we are prepared to play our part when we arrive on Ultima Thule. The key, I suspect, may lie with Heidelin's parting message to us. Darkness and light, despair and hope. As goes one, so goes the other. No Meteon wields the power of despair. We must bring to bear hope in equal measure. I'm most grateful Wilson and Blovida have devised a contingency should the need to flee arise. Though I pray it shall not. We must needs strive for victory to the last, that the Faeries and their people survive, and that their champions return home, without exception. I'd rather not spend any longer mulling over strategy. None of us are strangers to despair. If that's the source of our power, we are ready for it. primal summoning as it was intended. I never dared to consider they could be invoked without the danger of tampering. Changes come quickly to the star, and greater changes await in the days to come. All the more reason we must not fail. Venturing quite literally to the unknown, we have to be ready for anything. As I said before, whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. The Ragnarok and Vasta's grandfather's legacy live on. I mustn't waste any more time. Let us board and set out for Ultima Thule. Mother, father, grandfather, we will save the star and return home, I promise. Quite a tunnel, wouldn't you say? Well, again, who would want to be? Okay, that is the same because she doesn't accompany us. So you do you. Amelians will not join us, I'm afraid. She could not bear to watch our children embark on so perilous a mission. Make no mistake, I feel the same. I cannot tell you how many times I had to step away from my duties, so distracted by thoughts of all the ways it could go wrong. But even now, a part of me wants to drag them away and forbid... Well, not that they would listen. So I will see them off with pride in my heart and a prayer on my lips. For my children and for the star they love so dearly, you must prevail. If you would come this way, I will direct you to the bridge. Upon boarding the Ragnarok, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Bring enough time. This looks very elegant. Except for bunnies.
Welcome to the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
So, are we ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Imagine we said at this time, no, let me out of here, I don't want to go. Ah!
Oh, come on. The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again, with feeling.
Ragnarok. Engage!
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 There come the primals.
Into the sky, I cannot imagine a greater indignity.
Do not sulk so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
Still in one piece? Good. Sleeping way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch. All right, let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteon, she's likely used Dynamis to obfuscate her location.
Obfuscate?
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Heidelin believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves. Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit.
What is this? Something is... interfering with the equipment. Greetings. Greetings. Can you hear me?
Meteon.
So this is Meteon.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end.
Yes.
Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost, stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours.
suffocated and extinguished now.
I can't breathe.
You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life cannot thrive.
By the Fury. Thancred?
Uh-oh. The last we just saw of him was him attacking Meteon.
Meteon is gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look.
Let's do that.
Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
And let's hope it's just this.
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End. In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
The Sea of Stars. Ultima Thule.
Is this a dead star?
As I live and breathe. I live and breathe. Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
No, I didn't realize it quite the same way, but Alice said she can't breathe and everyone else acted like it. And if you think back to Stormblood, what was said, Thancred can keep his breath forever. That was why he was still standing and trying to fight Meteon. Because he can endure even without breath for a ridiculous amount of time. Anyway. If Meteor should strike again with such overwhelming force, I honestly don't know how we are to oppose her. We were clearly no match for Meteor, yet we survived unscathed, but how? There's a dizzying, disorienting feeling about this place, as if I could lose my footing at any moment. We must be careful. Let's throw and witness what became of Thancred. So quickly was I overcome by Meteor's malevolence, but I saw naught of their altercation. It's so dark I can barely see anything. Is this living waste set? We can breathe well enough, but something about this place feels wrong. I can't guarantee it will be of any help in these strange surrounds, but I've readied a provisions note in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to the Ragnarok at once. Alright, but I end this episode here, and next time we take our look into Ultima Thule. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.